See, we have to admit that meeting someone and holding like a very good conversation for the first time is not easy. Like getting them to even be interested in what you're saying. Is a lot of work. Not like a lot of work, but it's tricky. It's actually tricky. And we've all had those moments, and especially guys, based on, okay, usually guys will usually approach a lady, they see and they like, and it starts with the first conversation, right? If you don't get the first conversation, you might never get another conversation again. So you might be thinking, okay, how do I get this girl to, talk to me? Or how do I get this person? It's not just the guys, but I feel like guys face this more. So that's why I'm using the guy scenario. But this works for anyone. Basically, meeting people is meeting people. And trying to give a good first impression and get people to converse with you and interested in talking to you. It happens to anybody. We all want, that moment. Anyway, that's what today's video is about. Okay, so welcome back to Not Just Cupid. My name is Success, and I'm so glad to have you back. So don't forget, subscribe, comment, and like, and you can share too. Come on, let's get this going. It's actually sometimes very tricky and nerve-wracking when you want to meet someone for the first time and break the ice. Let me use that word, break the ice. It means like, try to have a conversation or get them to hold a conversation with you. Guys especially can relate to this because, most times you guys do the approaching, we just stay pretty and approachable. Then they're the ones that, you also shoot their shots. But basically, I feel like guys can relate to this more. Yeah. So most times some guys are not confident enough to start a genuine conversation because they feel like, okay, it might not be cool enough, it might not be interesting enough, and then guess what they do? They go to pickup lines. Like, are you kidding me? Pickup lines, really, bro? But yeah, it happens, and you won't blame them. You feel like it's a good icebreaker. I mean, some guys actually do pick up lines and end up sounding comic. So they don't make it look like, okay, they intentionally want to do the line to make you, I don't know. Some guys can make pickup lines work. Yeah, but very few actually. But most times it is a mess. If you're using the pickup line, trust me, a girl will know. And that already is a turn off. It's like, you don't want her to be like that. You want her to be interested in what you're saying. So first things first, because I mean, I've heard horrible pickup lines like, are you a thief because you stole my heart? Bro, really?
How about you and me playing doctor?
And you are?
Johnny Bravo, MD. Want to take my pulse? I'm pretty, you're pretty. What do you say we go home and stare at each other?
Men. My point is, pickup lines are not the way forward. Like, it's not really the way to break the ice and get the person to, talking with you or interested in even talking with you. It is not. So resist. Resist the urge to use a pickup line. I beg you. It is so much of a turn off. Maybe there's some girls that like pickup lines, but most times it doesn't work. So what works? Firstly, you being yourself. That's where it starts. Be yourself. Like, don't lie about anything. Don't act like who you're not. Don't talk. Don't pretend to have a certain accent you don't have and you cannot keep up. Don't lie about anything. Like, oh yeah, have you seen this movie? And you're trying to have a conversation about a movie you have not even seen just because you feel like it is somehow, I don't know. Don't do that. Be yourself. Be confident. And I'm saying all these things because these are things you should have in mind and know before you even approach the person. Yeah, because your aura, the charisma, and everything you use to approach the person also matters. It's not just what you say; how you say it also matters. So you have to be confident, and in between the conversation, you guys might have if you're successful to get a person to be interested in talking to you. There may be moments where there'll be silence. Maybe, for example, you said something funny and then she laughs and it's the end. Joke is over. So what next? Do you get? So there might be that slight, that small moment of silence. Don't be awkward. Don't act awkward. Like be confident with the silence and help the other person to be confident with the silence. It's kind of helps the conversation to sink in, and then you come up with the next thing you have to say. But confidence is key and silence is normal. It's okay. All right. Okay, so let's get straight to what you have been waiting for. So rather than use pickup lines, what should you do? How should you start the conversation? Well, this is it. It is basically I'm going to say whatever you want to say, let it be wrapped around, let it be related to something that's going on, to like the current situation. Maybe if you're at a party, something that has to do with the party, start with that because it's more organic. So you don't just seem like a creepy weird person coming with some not connected lines that I don't know what word to use. I'm trying to be as nice as, but yeah. So have genuine conversations, yeah. And it is better to start with something that will get the person interested in talking to you. Something that will intrigue the person to know further or get to know what you intend to say. Okay, so it's like an intriguing statement. Let me give you that. Start with an intriguing statement. So the first part of the intriguing statement can be like a question, or like I said, it's good to start with an intriguing line or statement. It could be a question as well, just so the other person, first of all, they have to acknowledge also that you're talking to them, yeah, when you're saying it. So when you say it, you kind of wait for their response. So for example, you could be like, can you do me a favor? So the other person has to respond okay or what, or are you talking to me, or whatever it is, but just that, like them acknowledging that you're talking to them, yeah, so they give some kind of response before you go further to say the second part. Let's say you're at a party or something. You're like, do you know when this started? I feel like I'm super late, like I literally just got here. Then the person can be like, oh no, we just started a while ago, or no, I'm late. I don't know, I'm late as well, or conversation starts from there. Then you can push it further. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I'm usually really late for parties. Okay, that's not a good thing to say at first, but you get what I mean. You just try to keep the conversation going, keep it natural, let it flow. The major point is because this can be around anything, it could be about anything. But yeah, I highly recommend that it's related to the current situation. But even if it's not related to the current situation, if you can make it work, that's fine. But my advice is let it be related to the current situation. Okay, so yeah, so when the person responds, you just keep the conversation going naturally. Okay, so now you've gotten the person's attention, you guys are talking, you've passed the awkward nerve-wracking phase. Next thing is you have to actually listen to the person while you guys are talking. First of all, don't be the only one talking. Okay, if you feel like, or some persons you actually have to push to get them talking, like they might be listening to you, you might see that you actually have their attention, but they might not really be participating. So you have to ask questions to show that you're interested in them as well, or in a way to get them talking so you're not the only one talking. So while they're talking, you have to listen. Be an active listener. When I mean be an active listener, is listen in the moment. Don't be looking at them, but in your mind, you're thinking of what next to say, anticipating what she's about to say. Don't do all that. Like listen actively. Because if you're listening actively, it's easier to actually make the conversation flow. It will just flow naturally, no stressing. You even get more ideas of what more you can say just by listening to that person. You could ask the person questions to for the person to further buttress or something, but listen actively. It helps the conversation flow, and people know when you're listening to them actively and when you're not. Yeah, because and while you're listening, like you're responding like, wow, okay, really, you don't mean it, those kind of things. So the person, it kind of encourages that person to keep talking, like, yes, you're listening, you're actively engaging. Encourage the person to talk. So here goes. I know someone is saying, is that enough reason? What if the person does not talk to me? Well, the truth is, you have to leave room for that part. That what if after all these things you do, the person doesn't really talk to you or doesn't feel like having that conversation? You know, they just shut you off after that part. It's all right. Sometimes you meet people on the wrong days, like they might not be in the right mood to have conversations. It's not because you didn't do it right, but they're not just in the mood to talk, or that's not just a good day. Yeah, so you have to be okay with basically being rejected. I guess that's the word to use. But yeah, it's fine. It happens. So don't take it personally. Keep trying. You know, the more you actually keep approaching people and getting to start conversations, it gets easier. You can now easily meet people and just get them to converse and get them to be interested in you. But if after your first attempts you try all this, it doesn't work, and you're like, nah, I'm done, then you ain't gonna be meeting people. You're just gonna be on your own because you're not breaking their ice, and you need to break their ice. You need to learn how to have conversations. So now, one important thing I have to say is it's this is not a rule. Actually, it can work for some people. It might not work, and people have their natural their style. So stick to it. But this is just a suggestion of what you can do to um get the person interested in you and interested to even have a conversation with you. So yeah, that's about it today. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, it is not like a formula thing. So comment below. I would like to know how, because there are different approaches. It's like a blanket thing. So how do you approach, what do you think the best method is, or the best way to approach someone and meet someone for the first time to get them interested in having a conversation? How do you do it? Do you like pickup lines? Do you use pickup lines? Does it work? So let's get talking in the comment section below. I'm really curious if pickup line actually worked. So ladies, do you like pickup lines? Guys, do you use pickup lines, and does it work? I want to know. So let's get talking in the comment section. Okay, so that's about it. And if you have stayed to this point, you have not subscribed, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up if you like the video. If you don't like it, like, also give a, I guess, thumbs down. But yeah, just do something with your thumb, basically, and comment. Thank you so much. See you next time.